We're here with head coach Todd Hafner as well as junior quarterback Tyler Hafner. Guys, I appreciate sitting down for a few minutes here, and I know it's a busy, crazy week here with Grandview coming to town. It's kind of all laid out in front of us. You win, you move on to next week's Trinity game, and I mean, basically it's playoffs from here on out. Right. So, Coach, first let's talk about the Olivet game. Got a little more of a scare from the Tigers than you guys are probably expecting, or a lot of people are expecting, but just kind of recap that game a little bit.
Well, I think looking back on it, you know, the one thing that we knew going in is that in this conference that we're in, and I talked to Coach Fish before the game, there's no walkover game.
Right.
I mean, you can't go into a game at any point and say, yeah, we should have won by 40, because it just doesn't work that way. So we knew going in that it was going to be tough, and it was every bit as tough as we'd anticipated. They were defensively, they were really good. You know, offensively, fortunately, they turned it over. I think a lot of that had to do with the way our defense played. They were flying around. They made a lot of plays. We had a few guys back that had been, come back from injury, and so you know, I thought our defense played outstanding, and we did enough on offense. We did some good things early on. And then we had the one drive there at the end of the game to kind of end it that really was pretty impressive. So we're moving on, and it's like I told the kids after the game. There's never a chance that we will ever be upset with a win.
Yeah.
No matter how it happens, it doesn't make any difference. When we win, we're excited, and in this conference, it's very important that you do.
Yeah, and especially like I said with this situation right now, going into last week, it's just keep on winning. Doesn't matter if you win by 1 point or 100 points. You just win, and you know you're still in a situation you control your own destiny. So, Tyler, I'll switch gears over to you. You guys played with two quarterbacks there for a while. How was adjusting to that, knowing that you were kind of coming in and out and not being able to be in the flow of the game the entire way? How'd you adjust to that?
It's a little different, but they let me know well in advance what was going on, so it was kind of like, this is what we're going to do. It's going to go like that, and I was just like, okay, well,
sure.
It's just kind of have to do what your coaches want you to do and play with however you have to play. So
definitely. With regards to, the offense, this is, you've been in it for quite a while. It seems like things, especially, against St. X, they really clicked on both ends for us offensively. Feel like things, and obviously Olivet came with a maybe different scheme, slowed us down a little bit, but things are starting to work out for you as starting QB and everything.
Yeah, I think last week was kind of just one of those weeks where some things were just really close, but not 100%. Like going through with things. But we're gonna iron that out this week. We kind of have been doing that already, and I think we'll be good this weekend for things to just explode again like they did 2 weeks ago. So
sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Todd, back to you. Grandview, number 3, they are what they are. They're a great team, very balanced in everything they do. And the team outside of Fulton at quarterback, they've just got a lot of, and Roland as their wide receiver. It's a lot of good role players. It seems like nobody's really stepping out. What have you guys seen?
Well,
that might
exactly
work
right.
to your.
They have 2 outstanding players on defense, and their safety and 1 defensive lineman. They lost basically their whole linebacking core, and it just seems like, on that side of the ball, it's the same person just with a different name, and so they do a great job of obviously recruiting, but they also do a great job of coaching their young kids in their scheme, and so when it's their turn, they're ready to go. Offensively with Derek and Brady, it's as good of quarterback wide receiver combination in the country. They've been doing it for a while. Thankfully Brady's finally a senior. We don't have to worry about facing him too much more. But they do a lot of other good things, and up front they're humongous. Their kids, they play really good up front. They do. They put their other playmakers in good position to make enough plays to take the pressure off of Brady and Derek. So, we're going to have to be sound in what we do. And it's like we told the kids on Sunday, this is a game where they're going to line up and do what they do, and we're going to line up and do what we do. And in the end, the team that doesn't turn the ball over and the team that executes their stuff the best is going to win.
Right.
There aren't going to be any tricks. I mean, we're not expecting anything crazy from them, and
no.
they're not expecting anything crazy from
right.
us. So, we'll go and rivalry game. Last year we had a subpar record, and we went over there and they won the national championship, and we were their best game of the year.
Right.
So that's how it is. That's how it's going to be. When the ball's kicked off on Saturday, you're going to see one well of a football game because kids are going to be flying around, getting after it, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, and that's two keys there. Our two teams, Grandview and us, have the best turnover ratio in the conference, and also it's a rivalry game, so you can throw stats out the window, basically. It seems like in every sport, rivalry games are always close.
Well, and even if you look at the stats this year, total offense, we're almost identical.
Right.
Total defense, we're almost identical. Right. Scoring average, we're actually tied.
Right.
And so it's as even as it gets on paper.
Yeah.
And so when the game's kicked off, it's all about staying in the moment, mm-hmm. not looking too far ahead or not looking too far behind, and just playing the game. And,
sure.
It's going to be awesome on Saturday.
Yeah. Tyler, talking from a player's perspective on this, huge rivalry game, you guys know what's all at stake and everything. How have you guys been able to keep your mind focused on what's at hand? Forget that it's Grandview, just we got to win. Forget about the Rock and Ladder trophy, just we have to win. Doesn't matter who's on the other side.
Well, I think the big thing is that this is almost like a playoff game for us,
right.
like last week was, is that you have to prepare yourself every day. You can't let one day go because that could be your playoff right there. That
right.
could be the end of the season. Luckily, we have another game next week, but you got to win this week and you got to win next week, and that's just how things go. And the fact that it's Grandview kind of makes it a little more exciting.
Yeah.
But it is a game you can't lose.
Yeah.
No matter who it is.
Yeah.
It could be the worst team in the country, but you can't lose it because this is your season right here.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter if this is a Grandview game or not. This playoffs, so it just adds a little more excitement for Saturday. But it should.
Well, and the fun part about it, for us is we do have another week next week, and next
right.
week happens to be senior week and things
right.
like that. And what a great lead up to a final for our seniors than to have them go out with a victory
yeah.
on Saturday, because then it adds to the excitement mm-hmm. of not only for senior day next week, but also now you're playing for a conference championship right. if things go well and things like that. So, the task at hand is huge, and I think our guys are focused. The 2 days of practice that we have been as good as they've been all year. I mean, I would compare them to the St. X week
sure.
as far as intensity and execution and attention to detail and things like that. So it's going to be fun on Saturday.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, best of luck again. Grandview, the Vikings coming into town, number 3 versus number 16 at noon out at Lacey. So best of luck, guys.
It's going to be a great day.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.